Hello guys, Gorazaver here, and today I'm back with the final Terraria Terraforming episode. Now, today's episode is the world tour. So, we're starting off with this base that I made here in, one of the first episodes, I think, where my spawn is usually set, a few NPCs are, that I don't want here. But it's just like a little home base kind of thing, right here in the, in spawn. By the way, after this video has been uploaded, the world download will be out, so if you go to the Steam page, I might try and put the link to that in the description or tell you how to do it, but I will show you that later. But now, guys, I think it's time to get right into the world tour. Okay, guys, now first up, we have the Lighthouse. Sadly, this whole thing was taken over by the Holo biome because there's a bunch of Holo blocks over here and it just seeped in over here. I tried to fix it. I don't know if you can change biomes manually using T-Edit, and if you could, I would, but I don't know how, so I can't really easily fix it. But I really like this lighthouse. I like how the sandstone is kind of like a support for it, and that this is literally like one of the first lighthouses I've made. I know there isn't much of an interior, but I still think that this looks pretty nice. And then there's just some beach area over here, which isn't very much to look at. But moving on, there is the Holo, which definitely is a very much, I think, of an improvement to what it probably would have been before. Plus, if you're just playing in this world, then you get a bunch of free crystals because of the Holo. So that is something to look forward to if you want to get those. So I just think that this scenery is very nice compared to what it was before all the scenery was added in. Like this little cliff waterfall thing. That looks really pretty nice. Like, if you're just sitting here, you just see the waterfall flowing. And that is a really nice, addition to this Holo, in my opinion. But moving on to the jungle, which is right over here, I was trying to make it, like, layered, like it is. But I wanted bamboo to grow in here, and it never actually grew, and maybe I'll try and go into T-Edit after this video and fix that, but I'm just sad that it didn't grow on its own, and it could have been so much nicer if it just did grow on its own. And then it flows into a little, pond area right down here. And if you are wondering, there is a cave entrance. This is not a custom cave entrance, so it's just the normal cave entrance. And then over on this side, I think it's really just the terrain leading to the teleporter and the fishing spot, which pretty much gets us to the mushroom biome. Now, the mushroom biome is one of my favorite biomes. I'm not gonna lie there. Oh, poor Dryad. Wait, how did she die? No enemies can spawn. Oh, water, probably. Well, that's sad. But, But this is probably one of my favorite biomes. It's just so immersive when you come in here, just with the background, because I really like this background, and the glowing blue, so it's not just pitch black. I just think it's really nice, and I do not know why that is there, so I'm just gonna fix that real quick with some stone block. There you are. With some stone block. And then up on top there are these little mushroom houses, which I think are pretty nice. I just used T-Edit to like copy them around and make it so they're all around, and they're a bunch of mushroom trees. And I don't feel like this top area is as good as the bottom area, but I think that it still looks much better than just your plain mushroom biome underground. Moving on to the desert. Oh, hello, little desert cactus lily thing. We have the oasis here, which leads into this little house. And that may look like it's so evil. It's supposed to be like someone was, like, being a butcher. So they were just butchering some meat, on that table. So, not anything bad and evil. And I think that this area would just be such a nice place to just take a little relaxation day and just spend some time, like, getting tanned or whatever. And over here, this is, I really like this. I think it's really fun that you can make the teleporter have, like, a desert temple or whatever it's called, pyramid. Like, it's in a pyramid. I just think that's a really fun addition to this. And then there's, one of these, desert underground, like the desert cave things. They don't always spawn in the world, so I just thought I would keep that in there because it was a nice addition. And then there's just a bunch of desert leading into the plains of the spawn region, if I am not mistaken. So over here, there's just some sudden drop as you, like, go into a valley or whatever. That's like a cliff. And then this is probably the most plain biome. Pun not intended. And I could have done more with it, like put more wood in all of this area, like trees and stuff. But I feel like after I'm finished with the biome, I should just leave it be, and then, I can just learn from my mistakes or whatever, and get better at building the biomes. And that tree is a bad tree, because it doesn't have a top. But these trees there are some trees spotted in here, so you can get all your wood if you need to, and some saplings too, because they didn't grow. Moving on into a fishing spot. I think this is a valid fishing spot. It might not be, but I think it is. If it isn't, then that would be sad, because I kind of tried to make a fishing spot in all the biomes. Mostly. So moving on into this snow biome tundra thing. There really isn't much in here, except for a bunch of trees. A little cliff there, apparently. I remember this one is one of the ones that it took me like 7 years to build, because this used to be hilly. Like, really hilly, and then I just made it less hilly. And then you can just sit down, take a little fishing time, sit on the thin ice, you know. And then there's the teleporter right here, right next to the fishing spot. And I'm like 900% sure that's a fishing spot. So, you can fish there if you wanted to. And now, onto the mountains. My most massive project, as far as I can think of. The mountains are like double or triple what I had to do for the snow biome. And, I'm just glad that I didn't have to fill it all in by hand. Because I could have filled it all in by hand. And then there's the teleporter right here in the middle. And that just leads back to the spawn area. And I really like this, this little monument thing. It just stands out a little bit. I don't know completely why I like it that much. But then you come into this spot that took me so long to make. And this hoik saves you so much time. Oh no. No, get that off. It must be the magic that you see. Hanging lights and stuff. But this is the fortress. Now basically it's just a bunch of turrets and stuff, and if you watched the fortress section of this series, then you would know all about it. But if you didn't, then I'll just give you a little tour over here. So we got the pantry for the kitchen, which is right over here. And then there's like a war room kind of thing with a bunk room for like soldiers and people. And then there's guest rooms. This is the king and queen's quarters. Or rooms, chambers, or whatever. This is the library, which I think turned out beautifully. This is the banquet hall, which also is very nice. I used to start out every episode in the fortress right here, sitting on this throne after this room was built. And there's just another waiting room, like, right there, and some servants' quarters right here, and some storage rooms, quote-unquote storage rooms, and some more guest rooms. And then, down here, this whole floor is just a valuable vault thing. So that is very fun. But now, if you go down here, this is like the dungeon area. Yeah, the mechanic is down here. She spawned in there, I think. Like, her room is in there. Yeah, and she can't leave. So, rip. And this whole bottom floor is just, dungeon area. Oh no, the painter. I have a texture pack on that makes the painter into Bob Ross. Oh. I didn't... Oh. Poor Bob. I need to put him into one of the different rooms real quick, if you don't mind. He deserves better than just sitting in there. There we go. Now Bob will be teleported into there right now. There we go. Okay. But now we can see that the outdoor area over here is pretty nice. I mean, it's just a bunch of gem trees. And I tried to do that on the other side, but on the other side, the gem trees didn't grow. So this is just the gem tree sapling area, basically. Because the gem trees refuse to grow. So, I'm sorry about that, but it just didn't want to grow. But now I can take that hoik. The hoik is like 90% faster than just walking up or climbing down. Because it takes like a minute to climb down and like 10 seconds to just use the hoik. But moving on, we have the corruption biome. And I think this is a really nice biome. I mean, I even customized some of these caves further down. Like, I added in a bunch of orbs so you could actually play. And all of that normal corruption stuff. Which I think is really nice. And I didn't really do anything for the pylon right here. But I think that's fine. And that... Oops. And that this is still a really nice looking biome. Just with all the custom spikes and everything. But moving on, if I can find the edge of this biome, then we move into the custom dungeon. It's just the custom dungeon entrance, mind. It's not the entire dungeon. This one, I, like, made the video, and I got carried away. And I did this build for, like, an hour, and then I was like, oh, oops. But the really fun thing about this dungeon, you can skydive. And I just think it's so fun that in this dungeon you can skydive, and it's possible not to touch anything until you get down there, but the platforms make it very hard. So that's a fun little challenge if you want to, like, try and skydive that. That would be pretty fun. But moving on, we have another plains with the fairy logs. And this is like, this was last episode. Oh, I didn't mean to actually teleport. This was last episode, and I think that this looks amazing for, like, one of my first trees. And this interior area looks really nice and alive, too. And the Dryad should be living here, but she somehow, like, died. I really do not know how. But moving on through this plains, we are at the desert beach. That's what it's called. We are at the beach. And if you put on a floaty, then you can just float in this pool, have a nice time, and just swim around generally. And if you open these chests and get some of the armor off, then you can take a flying leap off of this nice pier and go in and explore the depths of the ocean. And I just think that's really cool, and I really love this area. It's just really nice. At least the bridge is really nice. And the pool no longer really fits in because I was gonna make it like a resort so you could stay there and have some time in the pool, but I instead made it into just a diving area where you could go dive in. But that is the last biome. I got through all of those pretty quickly. I'm sorry if that was a little bit of a rush, but I think that we can end out the video in this little garden area. And I just want to say thank you for watching this video. This has been such a fun series. If this eventually gets like more views and more people like them, and you should tell me in the comments below, because I'm willing to do this again. I'm not gonna do it again now because I have the Surviving Terraria series, and I want to do something with Minecraft. I might I still do have the Surviving Terraria series, and I want to work on that more sometime soon. So I think that with that, I am going to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe, because then you can tell me that you actually liked the video. If you didn't like the video, then please tell me why in the comments section. I am open to suggestions. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all later. Bye!